Hey, good morning, guys. Hope you're all having a good Monday morning. Well, let me put you back in my pocket right here. That way you can see better and I can use both my hands. Okay, well, in my last video, I had got inside the cage right there with the grinder and smoothed out the welds and that kind of stuff. And so now I'm getting ready to put this piece of helical bar back in. And it had a slight bend right there, and so I try not to get it super hot because that's got like a chrome plating on the outside just to make it basically extra hard. That way it wears a lot longer. But I had to take and put a little bit of heat to it to take and bend it back in just a little bit because the way it was positioned up against the wall when the wall broke. And so anyway, you can see right there on that leading edge that it's got just a little bit of, a little bit of wear to it. I put these in what it would have been 2 years ago in the winter of 2020. And so get all my hardware here lined back up, shovel back inside here. Now, the trick is trying to get this thing, get all my parts and pieces here moved around, is trying to get this thing stuck on the back up on the ceiling. And I gotta be careful I don't drop a bunch of my parts and pieces. It's a little easier said than done, let me tell you. However, okay, there we got the bar. Hopefully you can see somewhat. Right now I'm just going to take and kind of lay it back up against the top. Okay, we're lining up, and so far, well, we're looking good for the most part. Trying to make sure all these holes line up just right. There's that one. There's one over here, up here, and across. This one right here, if you can see it, it actually lines up to a factory hole, which works out okay. However, like I say, getting that to line up or actually hold right there is the tricky part. And so that's where good old magnets come in. And so I got this trick to work when I installed these 2 years ago, and it should work again. And so we'll just take and start putting magnets. These are actually magnets I got years ago at the one farm supply store in Logansport, Rule King. If you put enough of them up there, it'll hold the bar to the ceiling, and then that almost feels like it's enough right there. And then what you can do is, once you get that bar up there, see right there, now it's staying. Once you get that bar stuck to the ceiling, I'm trying to find my other magnets. They must have bounced off somewhere. Oh, there they are. You can actually take, oh, it almost came down right there. Just got to watch that. But you can take it like that, put it up there, and get one of your bolts. we'll go ahead and just stick that right there. That way I don't keep losing it. But we can take, if you can keep dirt out of your face too, whew. But we can take and, well, that one came down. If you can get the stick like that without wanting to bounce out, you can take and hold your bolts in those bolt holes. Okay, we'll jump on farther back here to the factory hole and pop another magnet right there. Okay. Something's not lining up exact. Okay, I think that did it. It needed to move to about a 1/4 inch. Okay, I think that's got it. Now we're going to crawl back out of here. I'm going to go back up into the engine compartment. That way I can come in on top above the cage. I'll go ahead and take my phone out here. That way you all can see. Okay, you can see how it comes down right there, then follows up and around. I got the magnets all holding the bar in place, and I got 2 magnets holding bolts back into the holes. And so, let's go ahead and get back out of the cage, and we'll go back up into the engine compartment. Put you back in my pocket. Now there's where it does make it nice if you have a GoPro or something like that. You can just take and, like a lot of guys I see, stick the GoPro on your head and just walk around with it. However, why buy a GoPro when I can just use my iPhone and do the same thing? Well, minus putting it on my head. Okay, there's our hardware. Okay, and right up here, hopefully you can see some of that. Right here's the one bolt that actually went into the factory hole in the cage. Some of the factory holes do line up, others don't. And so there's that one. Now for that factory hole, I did not need a one of those flat washers that I custom made. Looks like a big spacer. Right there it is. I should have got a light up here, but it's basically just 1/8 inch steel that I cut into an approximate 1 inch by 1 inch square, and then I just use that as a spacer. Works good. And trying to make sure that bolt don't jump out. All right, and there's that one. I don't know how well you can see, but yeah, I just got that one put on, that flange nut, and then I put that flange nut with that spacer washer that I made. And then I've got to put a bolt in right here, and then on up that way, of which going over there, I'll have to actually jump up into the hopper on the combine. And so, back in my pocket you go. Now that I have 2 bolts in, I can take my magnets down that I was using to hold the helical in place, and now use all of them to finish holding the rest of the bolts in. And so I'll go ahead and get all the bolts out of this little magnetic bowl and set the bowl out here out of the way. Oh boy, it will be nice getting back out of this cage and being done with it. It's kind of old crawling in and out all the time. Okay, well, we're back in here, and we can take that one out and put a bolt right here in that spot. Put the magnet on, good to go. And like I say, we can just start taking, now that the bar's stuck up there, we can just keep using the magnets. Whew. To finish holding the rest of the bolts in place. Okay, and there's that one. And now we just got to get the last one over here. Probably can't see this one here. It's way up above my head. And there's that one. Hey, I think that's got it. Okay, we'll get back out and start putting all the big flat washers and those big flange nuts back into it, and it'll be ready to start tighten down and put back in place. I'll probably go ahead and jump up in the engine compartment first, because I got one more back there that I got hit. And then everything else will be going up, getting into the hopper, and coming down on the front of the cage. Okay, there's a flat washer. Get it sitting there just right. Okay, there's that one. I'll put the big door down somewhat, that way, because the shed lights actually shine into the hopper better. However, it's definitely warmed up a lot today. Today and tomorrow they're calling for it to be up into the 50s. I like that. However, it's almost like spring thaw, so you get lots of mud literally going everywhere. But it dries the ground all out. Okay, and down here's where we're going. And almost sounds like somebody's going by on the highway on either a four-wheeler or a motorcycle. It's basically warm enough out though, that's for sure. Okay. Trying to get that started back and there's a pain. But that did it. Perfect. Okay, and there's that one. Trying to get that washer just set just right. There we go. Okay, last one. If I can get it set just right. There we go. Okay, I think that'll work. All right, I'm going to have a small screwdriver and or a small pry bar for that one. That washer keeps wanting to turn. I want it actually kind of locked in place. Oh boy, that's got that one tight. Okay. Okay, that was tightened down. Well, I'm going to have to go get a screwdriver. That way I can lock that washer, pinch that washer in there and not have it move on me. Okay, I'll show you from this side. Yeah, right down through there, like I said, right there is the end of the helical here on the front, and then we go right back here, tightening everything all up, going back that way. And so yeah, we're getting to about 20 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and shut it down, finish tightening this in place, and when I come back, I'm going to actually work on putting some helical bar in the back of the cage, right down through there, approximately where that work light's hanging at. And so see y'all in a bit.